So this is where we left off in block 3. For today is 8:20. If you are in block 4, keep watching this. This is about where we ended up too. So we had talked about today in Algebra 1 about evaluating towards the end. Using the order of operations. We talked about PEMDAS. And the deal with this is you need to do one step at a time and show your work, because when I grade you, you're graded on the steps being done correctly, so I have to see the steps. So we all did A together, but on B, you look at the parentheses, and the most inside parentheses is 6 minus 2. Everything else comes down. So 6 minus 2 is 4. And those are squared. So the next thing you do is you go inside the parentheses, nothing inside that parentheses with the 4 to do, so we go to the next bigger one. So 12 minus 4 is 3. Everything else comes down. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Everything comes down. Okay, so then now that that parentheses just has one number, we can do the exponent. So that's the next step. So this will be 4 times 9. Then we have 36, and you circle your answer. When you have fraction bars, you can treat them as two separate problems above and below the fraction bar as far as your steps go. So if we look at this top part of the fraction, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. So we're going to do exponents first on the top. 2 to the 5th is 32 minus 6 times 2. And I know some of you will just jump to put a 12 there, but don't do it. I want to see the steps, one step at a time. So on the top, that's what we have. Then the next step on the top is 32 minus 12, because that's a multiply, not a blob. Okay, and then from there it would be 20. So notice how I just do the top, keep underlining, doing one step at a time. On the bottom, I'm going to start with this 3 to the 3rd. 3 to the 3rd is 27. Everything else in the denominator doesn't change. I know you know what 5 times 3 is, but don't do it yet. Okay, then we go and we don't do 27 minus 5 yet. You have to do this 5 times 3. So this becomes 27 minus 15 minus 2. Then you work from left to right. 27 minus 15 is 12. And there's a minus 2. This equals 20 over 10, which then equals just 2. All right, evaluating. Evaluating, you do PEMDAS, but you have one step to do before. X equals 4. So instead of x squared, I'm going to put 4 squared. Instead of the y, I'm going to substitute in 3. Instead of the z, I'm going to take out the z and I replace wherever my letter was with the parentheses and put a 2. You don't always have to do the parentheses, but it sure helps with square roots. So, I'm sorry, with exponents and negatives. Okay, so the 2 comes down, the parentheses comes down. 16 is exponent. There's a minus 3 and then plus 2 squared. Don't go and do that extra step yet. So now we'll do this one. One step at a time. 2 times, parentheses. We still got to do the parentheses. So 16 minus 3 is 13 plus 2 squared. Now do the exponents. So 2 times 13, yes, I know you know what that is already, plus 4. I'm checking with your steps and processes more than I am with the answer. So 26 plus 4, because this is the next step. So this equals 30. So for substitution, you're just plugging in a number. Where it becomes a little bit tricky is when you have some negatives in there. So be careful with your negatives. The substitution step on this, take out the x, put a parenthesis there, put the 3 there, take out the y, take out the z, and put the 5 there. That's your substitution step. Then we just go through the work. A common evaluation MORD problem you've probably seen before is one involving area. If you look at this, we're talking about the base of each triangle that measured 230 meters of the Giza pyramid. Excuse me. The height of the triangle once measured 187 meters. The area is 1/2 the product of the base and its height, so it's helpful to draw pictures. So there's the picture. We're going to write an expression that represents the area of one side of the Great Pyramid. So the words in the sentences were 1/2 of, that has to do with multiplication, the product of base and height. So we turn that into 1/2 base times height. You've seen it with area equals in it. We're just talking about expressions. So if we want to evaluate 1/2 base times height for b equals 230, you plug in that 230, plug in the 187, and then when you multiply this, you get 21,505. They didn't give us any units on this one, so we'll just leave the answer like that with no units on it. But if there were units, you have to put it. Then if we want to find the area of a triangle with base of 123 and a height of 62, then we can go ahead and do that. So it's going to be 1/2 base times height. We'll turn into 1/2 123 times 62. Multiply that all out and you get 3,813. This time it has feet, so feet squared. There you go. That's your lesson. Let me know if you have problems. Don't forget to check your work after you're done with the key on OneNote. Have a good night. See you on Thursday. Bye.